Hey guys, it's Drew again. Well, there's been some debate over the years of when the vintage era ends in baseball cards. There's one thing that's kind of universally agreed on, and the 60s is definitely vintage. But for some reason, I just don't have a lot of 60s cards. So I figured I would take today and show off my entire 60 collection. So let's check it out. Now, I'm not sure why, but for some reason, the 60s, they just didn't do it for me when it comes to cards. And it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you've got guys like Roberto Clemente and Sandy Koufax in his prime. You've got guys like Hank Aaron and Willie Mays just doing what they did, Mickey Mantle. There were so many great players. There was so much great action, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way Topps designed the cards. Now, I'm not saying that Topps designs in the 60s were terrible. There are some that are definitely good. And there are some cards that I do really enjoy and I do really like. But for some reason, I just don't gravitate towards that. I like the action cards that started coming in the 70s or in the 50s. I like I don't know, where they push the envelope, the bigger size cards. I like the drawings on them. I love the cartoons on the back. And that pretty much was gone, I mean, throughout the 60s. So I don't know why when I go and look at cards where I'm thinking of cards I really want, the 60s kind of comes in last place for me. Now, this may be controversial. You may love the 60s, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know, the photos are kind of bland. They're kind of over and over the same thing. A lot of headshots, which I'm not a fan of. A lot of stuff where the hat off, which I'm really not a fan of. A lot sometimes where they use the same photo years in. And I know they were trying to be innovative. I mean, this was the year the Rookie Cups came out, or the years the Rookie Cup, and I love that. But overall, the 60s, just not my thing. But I do have some cards that I have that I love that came through the 60s, and I figured today I would show those off. So let's go head over and check out what I do have. So it looks like I have a total of 16 cards from the 1960s. Again, this is not the ones from my sets or certain player collections, but these are the cards that I have. So we're going to start with 1960. Bob Gibson. I actually like this card better than I like his 59. I'm sorry if that offends people. I know that's a huge card, but the Pepto-Bismol pink has never been a favorite of mine, but I love this card. I still like that he's smiling. I know he was intense, but there's something just to saying that he was still a person and love the game. So there's Bob Gibson, 1960. I also have from the same set the Hank Aaron, and just a great card, a Hank Aaron. I love the Screaming Brave down at the bottom, but my wife gave me this card, so this one means a lot to me. So Hank Aaron is the next one. Next is 61. I've got a Billy Williams rookie card. I don't know what it is about this card. I just maybe his youthful. Billy Williams was one of those guys that I don't know. Even a few years into his career, at least in my opinion, he looked older, more mature, but he still looks like a kid in this picture. So I have always liked this one. So the 61 Billy Williams is next. For my only 62, I've got Brooks Robinson, and just love this card. I'm not a huge fan overall of the set, but I love this picture of him, and I love the fact that you can see the Oriole on his hat. And I don't know, it's just something about his look, his stare. But Brooks Robinson is my 62. Now, I love this card. The next one I have is the stand up, and that's my Joe Torre. I love the color scheme. I love everything about this card. And this is definitely one of my favorite cards from the 60s and in my collection for a number of reasons. But I love this card, so I'm happy to have this one to represent that year and that set. Next is 64, and I've got Yastrzemski. And I really like this card of Yastrzemski. He's got some really great cards throughout the 60s. There's actually, 64 is one of those that there are certain cards I really love, but watching them all lined up, like in a binder, they just don't do it for me. So I only have a couple from 64, but I do have Yastrzemski, and just really like that one. Also from 64, it's actually the second Bob Gibson I have. And again, it's he's smiling again. So I like this one. I really like the hat, the dark blue hat that the Cardinals used for those few years with that logo. But great example, and I just like the green. I don't know, just something about the colors on this it really pops. So 64 Gibson. And then my last 64 is my Harmon Killebrew. And I love the intensity on this one. Great card, great picture, great player, really underappreciated in our hobby, but happy to have the 64. And believe it or not, I have absolutely none from 65. And I didn't realize that until I started pulling my cards down. So maybe that's something I need to rectify. So what's a 65 card that's absolutely a must in your opinion? So maybe I need to look into one. But the next one I have is this leaders card. And the 66 leaders, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, with the three greatest National League players from that era and all in the same card. Absolutely, absolutely love this card. So happy to have it. So also from the same year, this is what I was talking about with the Rookie Cup. This is my Tony Perez. Really like this. And a picture of him. I'm not like a huge Tony Perez fan, but there's something about this pose. It doesn't look quite as staged, even though obviously it is. But I love the big Rookie Cup that they used that year. So for the 66, that's one of the ones that I have. Also from the same year, I actually found this in a at a show, and a guy gave it as a giveaway or just a throw in. But I love this. Just Bob Uecker. I mean, who doesn't love Bob Uecker? I grew up with Bob Uecker, knowing who he was. I actually have his autograph from a through the mail, and definitely just one of the greats for ambassadors for the game. Just so funny. But I thought, why not have a playing days representation of him, even if he wasn't that great of a player? So Bob Uecker. Then I've got another Hank Aaron, and I don't know what it is about this card. I don't know if you've ever done this or gone through this before, but have you ever come across a card that you're like, I've never seen that card? And for some reason, for years, even though I was really familiar with a lot of Hank Aaron's cards, I don't know why I came across this and I'm like, I don't know this card, and I absolutely love it. The red, white, and blue between his uniform and the Braves on the bottom. The pose, I don't know, there's something different that hits me personally with this card, and it's absolutely one of my favorite Hank Aaron cards, not just in my collection, but all of them put together. So I'm so happy to have this one. Next, I've got a Clemente, and I know I said I wasn't going to do a Clemente from the run, but this one is not in the display that I made. So this is the game card, and it's a great picture of him. I love that it says, it's got his full Roberto autograph. It doesn't say Bob or anything that they try to put on there. So love this card. So happy to have this one. Next, and I've told the story many times before, this was one of my first vintage cards. This was a given to me. It is absolutely trashed. It's bent. It's worn. There's writing on the back, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But a man who's older than me when I started collecting cards gave this to me and said, you can't be an actual collector unless you have a Mickey Mantle. So he gave me this card. So special to me. Absolutely love it. It's probably my least valuable, most valuable Mickey Mantle card. So there's the 68. Then also for 68, I've got the Willie Stargell. This card hits me kind of like that 67 Hank Aaron. There's something about the pose. I don't know, is it the batting cage behind it? But their colors on this just seem to pop, where a lot of cards in the 60s, I don't know, the colors kind of look muted, but this one really pops, and I was really happy to have that. And no pun intended when I said pops, I just realized that. But this Willie Stargell is great. It just shows his size, his stare, his glare. Love this card. Now, to be honest, the last two cards are probably my favorite two cards from the 60s. These were both dream cards of mine when I was growing up. I was getting into cards before I even started getting into vintage, so I'm so happy to have them. And chronologically, they do come late in the 60s. So the first one is my Nolan Ryan rookie. I was ecstatic when I finally got this card. This was like one of those dream cards, because when I started really collecting and getting into it, Ryan was still playing, where a lot of the other guys I've already shown, their careers had kind of ended up and they were already over. And but Nolan Ryan was still going. He was still doing the whole no-hitters and the 5,000 strikeouts and on and on and on. Everything you already know about him. And this was just one of those cards that Beckett showed like it was the golden child of all cards from the 60s. And I got it in my mind that that's the one I wanted. And when I finally had an opportunity, had a little money, won a bid on this on eBay, and I've had this for probably over 25 years now, but I'm so happy to have it. One of the first cards I looked for when I got into vintage online, and so happy to have it. So the Nolan Ryan, Jerry Koosman rookie card. And then the final card is probably not going to be a big surprise to anybody. It's definitely one of the most favorite cards. I see it a lot in a lot of people's videos. People talk about it as one of the best cards that this player ever had. And that is the 1969 Johnny Bench. You can't get any better than this. Again, I love the fact that they put a blue circle with the red and white, so it's got that red, white, and blue. The rookie cup, a great pose. Yes, it's a pose shop, but it's not as cheesy or campy as some of the other ones. It's just nice and simple, and it's just, I don't know. To me, this is the best 60s card, at least in my collection. So happy to have this one. So there you go. So those are my 60s cards. Are you surprised? I only had 13 or 14, whatever it was, 16. But that's my entire 60s collection. I appreciate you guys watching. Tell me which ones. What am I missing out on? What do I need to add to be, quote, a true collector of the 60s? You let me know. But appreciate it as always. Until next time, you guys be good.